Has there been any information on this axe? We're only getting one weapon in Season 4. Could this axe be it? So, this is the axe from the secret level episode. I'm not too sure if you guys seen that or seen the carnage that it wrecks, but think of this as a very fast but impactful weapon. I think this weapon should definitely be in the game. I would love to see it. We need an axe, and this is an axe that I feel like could, Vanguards could use it, Assaults could use it, Tactical can use it, even though, they're likely just going to put it on Assault, Vanguard, and Bulwark probably. I mean, it would look beautiful on a Bulwark. I could see it being pretty much a faster power sword, but it, packs a bit of a punch. However, it has little range. So essentially, it could just be Power Fist 2.0. But I guess the Power Fist could still have unique traits in itself because of the combos. Whereas this axe, I feel like it was just shredding. It was just something, they were using basic attacks. It was very fast. It was hitting hard. It was doing the cleaving job very well. I'm pretty sure we have a stat for that. Regardless, could this axe be the one weapon we get in Season 4? I'm not 100% sure on that, obviously, but I will say, though, I think this axe, if it was in the game, it would be stronger than the Neo Volkite pistol. 100%. I feel like this axe could, honestly, I think melee in this game is going to get so much better, especially if melee gets a new weapon, and that would be very interesting. But yeah, I could see this axe being a very fast weapon, but pretty much hitting hard. It would feel like you could, use it to do the jetpack ground slams on Assault, but it could also be used for Vanguard to get some good cleaving in. I don't know. I could genuinely see it just being a very strong weapon. I know I'm, kind of hyping it up a bit, but for the most part, I would really enjoy to be able to relive that secret level moment. But hey, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and let's see if we actually can get any intel on what would the next weapon possibly be. I could see them releasing this weapon officially with Space Wolf's Champion Cosmetics Pack. It's in the game files, so that's why we have to suffer watching our PC brothers rub this in our faces. Wait, is this true? Oh no, is he talking about the cosmetic pack? He's probably talking about the cosmetic pack as far as the game files there. I'm pretty sure they're not saying the axe is already in the game files, but that's interesting. I never really did a deep dive on what was actually in the game files. A lot of the stuff is still very much a surprise to me. However, I did see the seasons 1 through 9 leaked file of exactly what the champion skin or the cosmetic pack would be with those seasons. That said, you just really need to just think about, 1 through 9, that means there's probably 1 or 2 classes out there that are going to get 2 champion skins, most likely. But hey, we will see. That said, yeah, I don't think the axe is in the game files. I do not. But yeah, this guy's saying he could see it with the Space Wolves. That's a good call. I think that's a good call. Any melee weapon addition requires a lot of work, not just balancing perks and such, but also new animations, new executions for each enemy type multiplied by the number of unique executions you want to have so you have variety. It is a hell of a lot of work. Yeah, I have to agree with that. But I think since we had a good idea of what the animations will look like, that that we had a pretty good idea on how it would work in game, basically. But I know the animations, as far as the animations in secret level and the animations in the game are obviously 2 different things. I'm just saying they have a good spot of visualization, basically. They can see the weapon being used in the game, like they can imagine it, basically, is my point. But yeah, for new executions, you're definitely right about that. I mean, honestly, yeah, that's true. Like, at the very least, it's like, as soon as they confirm a new weapon being a melee weapon, we definitely have to assume there's going to be unique executions. And if they are willing to put in the work, then, I don't know, I think then, we have a better idea of what to expect and, how to gauge our expectations of exactly what we're looking at. Or, the future content, down the line. Each enemy type multiplied by the number of unique executions you want to have. So, yeah, I know it's going to be a lot of work. I know, that's true. I don't want to hype too much, but I gotta say, it's so crazy to highlight a weapon like that and then not give us it, you know what I mean? I mean, it could be like Space Marine 3 or something, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I agree, but at the same time, I think it's possible. Unfortunately, I don't think it's likely. Power Axe would probably be too similar to Power Sword, and it seems to me more likely it'll be another gun. I'd love the axe as a skin, though. Yeah, I could... Yeah, that's true. It's probably more likely it would be a skin for, like, the Power Sword, I guess. But that said, Power Axe would probably be too similar to the Power Sword. I do think there's ways that, you know, the Power Sword has two modes. So the Power Sword is essentially going to be similar to a lot of different weapons. I do think the ways you can make the axe unique is pretty much make it maybe a little bit faster than the Power Sword's power mode, you know what I mean? But a little bit stronger, but it doesn't have the combo potential of the Power Sword. And it'll likely have like 1-2 like stomp combos, you know, something like that, but it's still like if you go for a third swing, it won't be as good, maybe. Something like that. I know there's ways that we could definitely, you know, have the two weapons operate pretty uniquely because, I mean, I guess the Neo Volkite pistol, it has its own unique trait. So it does kind of make more sense for a weapon to be added in the game if it does do something specific to that weapon. You know what I mean? So yeah, at that point, yeah, I can kind of see where the Power Axe would be unlikely. That said, I can still see it being kind of like a unique weapon from the secret level, you know, episode of just how fast it was, but it was like a short range. Because, yeah, they didn't really leap at anybody with it, to be honest, as far as when they were, you know, actually getting the job done. It was a pretty sick scene, though, regardless. And I don't know. That's a fair point, too, though, that, like, it does seem to be more likely as a skin. Not too sure. Yeah, regardless, let me know in the comments how you feel about that. If you saw them add this axe in the game as a skin, would that annoy you? Frankly, I'd be a tad bit annoyed because you know, it would be cool to get a new melee weapon, but I do understand why it's asking for a lot for a melee weapon. Like at least before they add the axe, we would want to see the power fist buff or something like that, you know. That is interesting. I mean, trying to theorize what the next weapon could be is something also. It's like, what could the next weapon be? Unless it's just like a Neo Volkite rifle or something. That could be disappointing. I'm not sure. I don't think they will put in the axe very soon because they said it would be too difficult to create a unique weapon due to the fact that we already have light melee, heavy melee, and balanced melee weapons. Okay, yeah, but we do have, okay, so we have a Power Sword, Chain Sword, Thunder Hammer, Power Fist. So we do have 4 melee weapons. And like one of those weapons can kind of switch. Yeah, I mean, I understand where it's kind of like, we're kind of crowded as far as melee weapons styles go, I guess. But like, sheesh, it's really crazy to think that we couldn't, like, I mean, the librarian has an axe for the tabletop, at least the librarian I have, you know what I mean? I do have someone who has a Power Sword as well, but it's like called Power Weapon on the card or something like that. Chain Sword, and then yeah, the Power Fists are everywhere. There's a lot of Power Fists. It's kind of crazy. Like, Power Fist should seriously be stronger, but okay. Did they really say that? I don't think they will put in the axe very soon because they said it would be too difficult to create a unique weapon. Did they really say that? That specifically, as it would be too difficult to create a unique weapon. Because like, where did the Neo Volkite pistol come from then? That weapon feels very unique. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to see. Let me know in the comments if they said that and where I can find that, because I genuinely did not see them say that. I would love like an axe that would be a bit stronger than the Power Sword, and you can maybe yeet it. Oh, that would be a good idea. Oh my god, that would be a good idea. Like, it would have like a special throw attack. Yeah, no, that's the exact way. I'm not too sure if the axe is even thrown though, like in the lore. You know what I mean? Also, that might feel a little bit too much like God of War. But at the same time, I mean, that is unique. Maybe it could yeet like a power slash or something, similar to the Power Sword, but like maybe a little extra distance, but it's only vertical, something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's definitely ways they could do that. That is an interesting idea. I think it's more likely that we'll get a one-handed Power Axe Chain Axe, but I don't think it would be released until Season 5 with Space Wolves. The devs already stated how much work goes into making a new melee weapon. Okay, so yeah, there's that. I guess I don't really need to hear about unique weapons if they already said, like, specifically a melee weapon would be just kind of a pain to add. So I don't think they had one planned when they released that roadmap. See, okay, I gotta admit, like, that's that's a bad look on the future of melee weapons for this game. That's why they should, buff the Power Fist, obviously. But I think it's more likely that we'll get a one-handed power axe, chain axe. A lot of the suggestions that I've gotten for new weapons have been melee weapons, but I won't say all of them have. Like the Storm Bolter, that's something that's a gun, right? But there's also like a fist version, like Calgar. But like, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into making these weapons. I understand that, 100%. But I feel like, dude, that weapon was it was like the highlight of that episode, you know what I mean? Like, you would think that they would add that weapon as soon as possible. But I'm not too sure how successful that episode actually was. Now, judging from some of the views I've seen people's reaction videos with, I think that episode was fairly well received. There's probably a lot of people who learned about Warhammer through that episode. Even now, I see a couple comments in this thread specifically saying how they're new to Warhammer. Not specifically from the episode, but just in general. So, interesting. I don't know. That was still a really cool weapon. And you can kind of understand where the stats would go in for it as well. That's why I kind of think it would be easier to make that weapon. Until Season 5, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's not get our hopes up, I guess. Pretty down way to end the video, but I mean, if the devs did say making a new melee weapon would be a struggle, that is unfortunate. But still, it's like the only thing I can understand that more so than I can understand them saying they don't want to make a unique weapon, because we're probably going to get. I mean, the Neovolkite pistol itself is a unique weapon, you know. I don't know. That's interesting. That episode was good. It made me want to use the axe. I heard there's a mod out there for PC, but I play on both console and PC, so I try to steer my my perception down the middle there. My perspective. Yeah, sorry, there it is. Perception. Okay. Regardless. Yeah, I would like to see the axe. That episode was good. There are new players of this game that are kind of like trying to feel things out as well. So I'm not surprised people are kind of asking for that weapon. And yeah, unfortunately, the devs, already said that making a new melee weapon would be a pain. So I'm gonna have to just, believe them. Yeah, but we are getting a new weapon in Season 4. So yeah, we will see the exact, basically, we will see the unique characteristics of this weapon, and I bet you we can better guess what type of weapons we will get moving forward. If it's just like a Neovolkite weapon, that would be unfortunate. But I mean, that would mean that every other new weapon would be a Neovolkite version of it, maybe.